Hey guys, Deadeye Playtime here, and welcome back to another Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 reaction and analysis video. Now, in this video, I'm going to be reacting to the newest video posted by Mob Entertainment on their YouTube channel, and that is the Restricted Contamination 1995 video that released only a few hours ago during the recording of this video. Now, that does remind me that I want to mention that at the time of this recording, this video was still unlisted from Mob Entertainment's official channel. I was able to get this early due to me being part of an official Poppy Playtime server on Discord. So I'd really like to thank the people that were able to get this video early so I could watch and react to it early. But to protect the continuity of this video, this video will not be released until this video does, even though that doesn't really matter because, well, if this video is out, then this video is also out on their official channel. But I just wanted to give a little bit of background on the video. Now, before we get in, I do want to remind you all to leave a like and subscribe on my channel. It is free, and it really helps me out to create bigger and better videos on this. Also, if you guys have any ideas on any new videos, or if I've missed anything in my recent reaction and theory videos, please drop it down in the comments below, and I will give you a mention if you spot anything that I've missed in the recent videos. But with that, let's waste no time and get to the reaction. Okay guys, I've got the video up now, the Restricted Contamination 1995 video. I'm once again going to put subtitles up just so you guys can hear everything and so that I can understand the video more easily. But with that, let's get right into it. Oh, I'm so excited. Alright. Oh, alright. Okay, that's... Okay, 1995 as usual. Okay, I'm gonna try to talk as little as possible.
Not sure if it's good or bad.
Alright. Nah, nobody's gonna come for you. Not at all.
They send a team, specialists probably. It's gonna be one hell of a cleanup operation.
What, are they stuck or something? Oh god, they would...
When we get back to that lift, it should be a straight shot to the surface.
Wait, are they trapped down here or something?
Does Bio even connect to the executive lift? I don't think it does.
Avoid...
Maybe dial
shelf? Okay. Wait, what is that? Are you guys seeing that?
It has to connect to this map.
Oh my god, they've been stuck down here for days. Like, what the...
Once we're out,
okay, they've barricaded the door.
Well, I suppose I owe my wife a few explanations, wouldn't I? Not that that makes up for anything.
Nah, it doesn't make up for anything you've done,
have
pal.
to go back to. Growing up in play care, running back as soon as I had my degree. My entire life was here.
That's,
Sad? I never thought about it that way. Not until this.
well, maybe this is what we get. All we've done.
Oh, wait, what?
You don't have anything to apologize for.
Nah, he has plenty to apologize for. Alright. No, you didn't do good work.
Blew up in our faces.
Wait, what the? All in one... Can you... Alright.
You don't need to.
I just couldn't stand by and watch it happen anymore.
What are you saying?
What? Wait, what? Wait.
You let them. You let them. And you didn't think they would do something like this? Tell me this is some kind of joke. My God, how could you do that?
Not just me. There were others, and we all knew this was.
But what is...
I think you know that too.
No, don't try to rationalize it just because you got cold feet, because you couldn't stomach the
Wait, okay, what is going... Wait.
Work was wrong.
It's not that simple.
It was, to
You
be
were
fair.
part of it as much as the rest of us.
Oh no. Oh, what is this now? Huggy? Okay. Okay, that was definitely Huggy 100%. Okay, okay. Okay, he's running away. Wait, okay. Wait, what was that? Wait, is that Huggy or wait? Okay. Is there anything else? Nope, that's the entire video. Okay, that was a lot, to be fair. Now, just like with the Catnap ARG, there's a lot to take in this new video. And honestly, a few truths and secrets that have only been revealed until now. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to show you guys my full analysis, just like I did with the Catnap ARG, and also go through a few of my theories while I'm going through the entire video. And then afterwards, I will get onto the second topic of the video, which is the theorized price of Chapter 5 when it releases. But other than that, let's get into my full analysis of the Restricted Contamination in 1995 ARG video. Now, the video first opens showing us a new device that will most likely be featured in Chapter 5, a strange-looking part that seems to be attached to both a baseball and a Playtime Co. battery. Now, this may seem like the first time we've seen something like this, but this exact part/device has appeared in two other official Mob Entertainment artworks that I know of. The first one being in the Halloween artwork for 2025, and the second time being in the Christmas Day artwork. It seems to be some kind of staff, in my opinion, that is attached to a baseball and Playtime Co. battery. It most likely may be a new weapon that we will use to face whatever is coming in Chapter 5, but the exact purpose of this device is still unknown, so we can't go off of too much. But this will definitely be something that we as the player will use in Chapter 5. After this, the video then cuts to a date and time, August the 8th, 1995 at 2:07 p.m. And this date shows us what time period the next following scenes will take place. But this date and time is actually pretty important, because the Hour of Joy took place on August the 8th at 11 a.m., which means that the following scenes that will appear in the video take place almost 3 hours after the Hour of Joy took place. So this time is significant to the following scenes and will be very important for the theory coming up in this video. The next scenes then show us what appear to be the aftermath of the Hour of Joy in the labs, with blood splattered all over the walls, and Preston Willard and his co-worker Jessica being trapped within the labs, most likely hiding from the toys that are still hunting them above. While Preston wants to try to find a way out on his own, Jessica wants to stay put and wait for a specialist crew to come and save them. Little does she know that almost everyone in the entire factory was wiped out, and most likely it's just them remaining in this period of time. The video then shows us another date, August the 13th, 1995 at 3:35. So the video has jumped a whole 5 days. So they have been down here for almost a week now in this time period. And I don't exactly know why they're showing us this. It's most likely just showing us how long they've been down here. And most likely that they are still trying to find a way out of the factory. The next scenes show that Preston Willard, aka PW, has drawn himself a sketch map trying to find an exit. Unfortunately, though, even though he thinks that he's found an exit, Jessica is still weary about his plan, and still suggests that they just wait down there and wait for a crew to arrive. Even though she is trying to help him find a way out, it's clear that Jessica has no faith that they will escape. During their conversation of them trying to escape, the scene then cuts to another section of the labs, showing more blood and hand marks all over, confirming that this takes place after the Hour of Joy. But what's significant in this scene in particular is that we can see the strange shadowy apparition of something roaming the hallways of the labs, most likely it being one of the toys that are hunting Preston and Jessica. While the actual creature in this image is still unknown, some people have theorized, including myself, that this could be Huggy Wuggy or Catnap, but I'm not too sure about this because Huggy Wuggy is bipedal, so he walks on both legs and he barely uses all fours, while Catnap has a much larger head. So I believe that this isn't Huggy Wuggy or Catnap or even a toy that we've seen before in recent chapters. This could potentially be a new antagonist coming up in Chapter 5, while the exact explanation for this character is still unknown. We can only say that this is potentially a new monster coming in Chapter 5. The video once again cuts to another date, August the 18th, 1995 at 10:40. So Preston and his co-worker have been trapped down in the labs for a whole 10 days, most likely waiting out the recent events of the factory of the Hour of Joy, and trying to also find a way out while waiting for help. So this part of the video goes through Preston and Jessica obviously they are clearly friends in this video, or at least close co-workers. And Preston mentions that when he gets out, he will need to find an explanation to explain this to his wife, of course, because he has been trapped down here for a whole 10 days and he owes his wife an explanation as soon as he gets out. But Jessica, on the other hand, says, at least you have a life to go back to, because in this scene we learn that Jessica's entire life revolved around Playtime Co. She grew up in the play care and then later became a scientist helping the employees of Playtime Co. So obviously she used to be an orphan at the factory and lived in play care with the other orphans. So of course this scene just goes through them bonding over each other. We can't really make out too much in the scene. All we really know is that Jessica clearly grew up in Playcare and is now working for Playtime Co. Since she believes that, I believe that she wanted to repay them for the kindness that they gave her. But also in the scene, Preston then is going over that maybe they deserve this. It may be that he believes that this may be what they deserve after everything they did to the orphans and the toys at Playtime Co. Most likely knowing that this was the toys' revenge for what they did to them. And honestly, Preston in this scene doesn't seem to hold a grudge at all, knowing what he did was wrong and wanting to make up for it. But then, the scene then cuts to what appears to be a calendar, most likely Preston Willard's calendar, saying that on August 3rd, he was planning to quit as a scientist of Playtime Co., but he was persuaded to stay, most likely by Jessica, I'm guessing, or in a more dark term, he was threatened to stay by most likely the higher-ups of Playtime Co. Oh, and on what appears to be either August 8th or August 9th, the same time that the Hour of Joy took place, it says, updated schedule for Playcare comes. So obviously they were planning to do something in Playcare before the events of the Hour of Joy took place. There isn't much else to that part there. It then cuts to Jessica trying to comfort Preston, saying that this wasn't his fault and that he has nothing to be sorry for. But before she continues her sentence, the scene once again cuts to what appears to be another file. And this appears to be an incident report. At least that's what I could make out at the top. However, not much. I tried to decipher this, but not all of the words are very clear. The ones I can make out, though, are the sentences that say, all are true, all are connected, nobody is safe, and what else was there? Tell no one, I believe one of them was, and don't be stupid. Another one that it says, burn it. So obviously, this file is definitely an incident report, most likely either with one of the experiments, or something the higher-ups of Playtime Co., like Elliot Ludwig, Leith Pierre, and Harley Sawyer were trying to hide. But I can't decipher it too much. But then, before it gets back to Preston and Jessica, the video then cuts to a glitchy screen that only lasts for a few seconds. But if you pause it just at the right time, you can clearly see two sentences in this glitchy image. And it says, "Can you hear us? Can you see this?" And it's kind of similar to, if you guys have seen the official Poppy Playtime Sleep Well song, it's kind of similar to the lines in that song, where the smiling critters say, "Can you see us? Can you hear us?" So obviously this says, "Can you hear us?" But it also says, "Can you see this?" I don't exactly know exactly what they're referring to, "Can you see this?" But this obviously has some meaning and contribument to the Hour of Joy, in my personal opinion. But then comes the really big part of the video, where Preston clearly can be said, "I just couldn't stand by and watch it happen." And obviously, we don't know exactly what this means at first. But then Jessica asks, "What do you mean?" And Preston, clearly in a regrettable voice, says something that is glitched out completely. That is glitched out during like scenes from Huggy Wuggy's escape to the gas mask to even clips from the Catnap ARG that we covered in my last video. But this is definitely the most important part, because PW during this scene, aka Preston Willard, says, "I didn't know they would. I have no other choice." And then, after it shows a couple more scenes, Jessica then says twice, "You let them. You let them." And this is probably the biggest part of the entire ARG, because this has made me to believe that PW, aka Preston Willard, contributed and helped the toys escape from their confinement, and helped during the Hour of Joy, freeing all of the toys and allowing them to completely wipe out every co-worker in the factory, despite not knowing what their true intentions were. Obviously, he didn't want anyone to die, but obviously Jessica during this is... Obviously Jessica is angry, and of course she says, "And you didn't think they would do something like this?" And this is also an indicator that Preston had something to do with the Hour of Joy, because she clearly does say that you didn't think they'd do something like this. And obviously this is referring to the Hour of Joy, due to this only being recorded a few days during and after the events of the Hour of Joy. So during the next few scenes, they continue to argue. Jessica asks him how he could do that, and of course Preston tries to make up excuses of why he did it. It's hard to really describe, because obviously Preston is feeling regret for what he did, but he doesn't have a very good excuse for why he did it. Obviously Jessica is really angry with him because he just allowed them to escape, and despite not it being his intention, every single co-worker in the factory besides from them were killed on the Hour of Joy. However, during their argument, the door that they've clearly sealed up starts to, of course, be slammed into. And in the next scene, we can clearly see Huggy Wuggy breaking into the room where they've been hiding for the past 10 days. And of course, after the scene, Preston and Jessica begin to run. However, Jessica is not right behind him, most likely indicating that she was killed by Huggy Wuggy as soon as he broke into the room. While Preston continues to run, and he then runs down the stairs and bumps into what appears to be another experiment. And in this scene, we can see the toy that he bumped into. We can see, well, a part of the toy. We can see a furry claw reaching out to try, and of course, most likely killing PW. And I don't believe this is really a new experiment. It could be a new experiment in Chapter 5, but I do believe that this is Catnap, due to the 5 separate claws on his feet, and the furriness around the claws. And then, of course, the video cuts. So, what can we make out in this video? Well, we do know that this video takes place a few days during and after the Hour of Joy. And, of course, we now officially know that Preston himself, aka PW, is the very reason the Hour of Joy happened, assisting the prototype and helping the toys escape from their cells and their confinement areas. And despite it not being his real intention for anyone to get hurt, he still allowed the toys to roam free. And of course that resulted in the massive massacre that took place on August the 8th, 1995 at 11 a.m. So obviously we now officially know who is the main reason for the Hour of Joy. The prototype was never the main reason for it. While the prototype led the Hour of Joy, PW himself, aka Preston Willard, freed the toys and allowed them to roam the factory, causing the massive massacre. Obviously, he regrets his decision, and he's been hiding in the labs for the past few days with Jessica until he finally comes clean to Jessica, and they go back and forth before they are killed. So the main part of this video is that we can officially confirm PW, aka Preston Willard, is the very reason and the biggest contributor to the Hour of Joy. So yeah, Preston Willard is the main reason for the Hour of Joy. That is something that can definitely be confirmed. But what can't be confirmed right now is the theorized price for Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. But here is a theory that's been going around. If you guys remember, Chapter 1's price first started at £5 before Chapter 3 released and it became free. But but when Chapter 2 released, it was £10. When Chapter 3 released, it was £15. When Chapter 4 released, it was £20. So we can obviously see that each price, every chapter, goes up by £5, with Chapter 1 starting at £5 and Chapter 4, the most recent chapter, being £20. Which only makes sense that Chapter 5 will be £25 when it releases. And honestly, it makes sense as well, because Mob Entertainment has officially confirmed that this will be the biggest chapter in the entire franchise. And for the chapter that seems to be theorized to be the final chapter of the entire saga, I feel like £25 is a pretty reasonable price for a big game like Chapter 5 will be. But other than that, I've gone through the important parts of the ARG. We can officially confirm that PW was the main contributor to the Hour of Joy. I will probably make up a follow-up video on explaining why he may have done it. But other than that, I've gone through the ARG. I've explained my theorized price for Chapter 5. I am Deadeye Playtime. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Leave your comments for new ideas down below. Deadeye out.